Welcome back to Flo's Sports Fix on this Tuesday evening. From local football to local netball, here's the Statman.
Thanks, Clayton. Let's have a look at the netball results from across the weekend, and we'll start in South Australia. I'm going to do half of the results from the weekend's matches today and the other half tomorrow. So in South Australia today, we're going to look west and across some parts of the Central Netball Associations. So today we'll start with Western Air. And the brand new clubs in the competition there are the West Coast Hawks and Wirrula, and they both started with wins in the A-grade competition there. Wirrula took on Western United. They beat them 41-26. The West Coast Hawks had a tougher assignment against Thevenard United. They ended up winning that game, though, 46-34, so a win by a dozen goals there. And the traditional clubs out of the old Far West Netball Association, in Ceduna and Ceduna Blues, they clashed at Ceduna, and it was the Blues, too good, 68-33 in the A-grade clash there. Moving down into the Eastern Air Netball Association, and bearing in mind that there's only a 5-team comp there, so only 2 fixtures played in the A-grade competition, and the new club on the block there is Central Air United, much like in the football. And much like in the football there, they went down in their first A-grade clash, 46-20. And if we have a look at the rest of their results in throughout the various competitions there, in the B grade, the Storm, they also went down 36-28 to Eastern Rangers. In the C grade there in the same competition, they actually had a draw, the Eastern Rangers and Central Air United, 44 each. And if we move on to the C2s, it was an interesting game there, 36-32. So the first senior win for Central Air United Storm. And the C3 grade saw the Eastern Rangers knock off Central Air United 45-18. So across the board, only the one win and a draw out of the senior grades, the 5 senior grades in Eastern Air Netball. Down to Great Flinders next, and the new club there is Elliston Districts. So that's a joining of the forces, so to speak, between Elliston and Western Districts, the two sides who played off in the grand final of the old Midwest Netball Association back in 2019. Interestingly enough, this joining of the forces took on the premiers of the Great Flinders Netball Association from 2019 in Thumbie Bay in their first game. And it was Elliston Districts who were too good, 43-28 in the A grade there. They'll be a force to be reckoned with. They also had a win in the B grade there, 33-24, or what's known, as the A reserves. The B grade itself, that was Elliston Districts. So a clean sweep here at the moment, 34-22. In the B reserves, again, it was Elliston Districts, 34-16. So a complete clean sweep of the senior grades there. In the juniors, Thumbie Bay defeated Elliston Districts 35-23. That's the D grade. And in the E grade, it was Elliston Districts with a thrilling win over Thumbie Bay, 32-20. In the other game there in Great Flinders A grade netball, it was Cummins Kipini, 68 over Air United, 13. A comfortable win for the Cougars girls. So that's a look at all of the Eyre Peninsula netball results from last weekend. Let's move to York Peninsula next. And the A grade results there, we've got 4 fixtures to go through. And the closest one of the day was the Southern Eagles, who took on Moonta. And it was Moonta prevailing 42-31. So a good solid win for Moonta. The Central York Cougars, 45. They defeated Pascaville 31 in other A-grade matches. And then a couple of blowouts. Butte were too good for Wallaroo, 37-14. And Ceduna thrashed Ardrossan. Obviously, this match was played indoors, looking at the scores. 71 Ceduna, 49 to Ardrossan. So whilst it looks like a big margin, 50 goals in a losing cause, not bad for Ardrossan, you could say. So all in all, a big round of netball there, the opening round for the season. And we'll move to northern areas to finish off in South Australia. And the first round of matches there saw Broughton Mundura hosting Orroroo. They beat them 47-32. And BMW, they hosted Crystal Brook, and in a thrilling game, it was Crystal Brook in the A grade winning by just 4 goals, 37-33. Jamestown Peterborough are back this year, and they took on Southern Flinders, another high-scoring game. This, again, may have been played indoors, I think, at the Jamestown facility there. And it was Jamestown Peterborough 59 winning against Southern Flinders 52. So a fairly, tight round of matches there for round one in Northern Areas netball. Let's move across the border into Victoria and New South Wales now. And in fact, we may start with New South Wales and Hume netball round 2 of matches there. And Corrine, it was the CDHBU girls taking on Henty. And they had a win, CDHBU here. Fantastic result for them. 42 defeating Henty 34. So an 8-goal win for them. A thrilling match between Brockburham and Holbrook. And it was the Saints there getting the job done by just the 1 goal, 45-44. Another tight one between Howlong and the Billabong Crows, with the back-to-back champion Crows winning 47-40. Another tight one at Jindera. They took on Lockhart and they prevailed 54-50 in a very tight game. A blowout between the Murray Magpies and Colcan saw the Magpies absolutely thrash them 70-19, and a pretty solid win in the end for Osborne against Randall-Bundry-Waller. The Giants going down 50-38. So an excellent start to the season. It's been there, round 2 that was, in Hume netball. Moving down into Victoria next to have a look at the results from the round of matches played in North Central netball, and it was round 2 of matches here. Bort had a good win over Birchip Watcham. They beat them 53-42. Another tight match was played between Sea Lake Nandaly and Charlton, with Charlton winning in the end by just 4 goals, 40-36. Wedderburn thrashed St Arnaud 66-28. So the Wedderburn girls continuing on where they left off before COVID break. And Donald, 45, had a pretty solid win over Witcherproof Narraport at home as well. In fact, it was Witcherproof Narraport at home at Witcherproof, but Donald, 45, defeating them 28. So a 17-goal win there. And the last one we'll have a look at today, bearing in mind we'll do this tomorrow as well and have a look at some of the remaining associations that we haven't checked yet. We're going to have a look at Colac and Districts netball. And in the A-grade competition there, what's been going on? Well, round 2 of matches, Otway Districts 55 defeated Simpson 49, a pretty good win for them. Illawarra Biak had a win over the Western Eagles 57-35. Alvey had a thumping win over Apollo Bay, who was struggling early doors, 72-31. Lorne, they hosted South Colac and went down 44-26 in the A-grade competition. And the last match to talk about was the closest of the round. It was Colac Imperials hosting Birregurra, and Birregurra did enough to win by just 4 goals, 42-38. And that's a look at the netball results from across South Australia, Victoria and New South Wales for last weekend. In fact, half of them. We'll have a look at the other half on tomorrow's program here on the Sports Fix.